Princess Hannah stood on the main deck of the giant spaceship Eternal Dawn. Her eyes moved across the stars that spread out before her. Unlike others of her kind, she could see things no one else could. The small waves of energy, the tiny dots of light that normal eyes missed. She was special. Today was important. After 20 years of training, Hannah would become a fleet commander. No one so young had ever led ships before. Her father, Emperor Taeyun, had made sure she was ready. The Celestials were not like humans. Over 12 generations, they had changed their bodies. They made themselves stronger, smarter, and able to control star energy. They did not feel things like humans did. They did not cry or fear or love. These feelings got in the way of ruling the stars. "Princess, it is time," said a voice behind her. Hannah turned to see her teacher, Master Doyun. He had taught her since she was small. He had shown her how to use her special powers and how to lead others. "The ceremony begins in 10 minutes, he said. "Your father waits in the Great Hall." Hannah nodded. She smoothed her royal blue uniform and checked that her hair was still in its perfect bun. Celestials cared about order and neatness. Everything had its place. "I am ready," she said. They walked through the long hallways of the ship. Other Celestials stopped and bowed as she passed. Some looked at her with respect. Others looked with doubt. Could someone so young really lead? The Great Hall was huge. Thousands of Celestials stood in perfect lines. They all wore the same gray uniforms. Only the royal family wore blue. At the front, on a raised platform, stood Emperor Taeyun. His face showed no emotion as Hannah walked toward him. "Daughter," he said when she reached him. His voice was deep and clear. "Today you join the great leaders of our people. You have been made for this moment." Hannah stood straight and tall. "I will not fail, Father." The emperor turned to the crowd. "For 12 generations, we have made our bloodline perfect. My daughter represents the peak of our work. She can see the quantum world. She can feel the energy of stars. She will lead us to new victories." The crowd did not cheer. Celestials did not do that. But they did tap their right hands on their chests 3 times. This was their way of showing approval. "Princess Hannah," continued the emperor, "I give you command of the frontier expedition. You will go to the planet called Earth. You will study it and prepare it for resource extraction." Hannah's eyes widened slightly. The frontier expedition was the biggest mission in 50 years. Earth was a small planet with simple people, but it had many resources the Celestials needed. "The humans who live there are primitive," said the emperor, "but some have potential as workers. Study them. Decide which ones to keep. The rest, along with their planet, will be processed." Hannah knew what this meant. The Celestials would take all useful materials from Earth. The planet would die. Most humans would die too. Only the most useful would be kept as servants. "I understand, Father," she said. She did not feel sad about this. Celestials did not feel sad. They did what was needed for their empire to grow. The emperor placed a silver star on her uniform collar. "The Eternal Dawn is now your ship. You leave tomorrow. Make your people proud." Hannah bowed. When she stood up, she saw thousands of eyes watching her. They expected greatness. She was made for this moment. Her whole life had been planned. What she didn't know was that a small human boy and his puppy, on a planet far away, would soon change everything she thought she knew. The ship landed on Earth in a green field far from any human cities. Princess Hannah had chosen this spot to avoid being seen. The Celestials knew that humans had machines that watched the skies, but these machines were simple and easy to fool. "Remember," Hannah told her team of 5 other Celestials, "we look like humans now, but we are not like them. Do not talk to them unless you must. Get your work done quickly." Before they left their ship, each Celestial had changed their body to look human. Their skin, hair, and eyes now matched those of the local people. They wore simple Earth clothes that would not stand out. Hannah now had black hair that fell to her shoulders and dark brown eyes. She wore blue pants, a white shirt, and a light jacket. "We will meet back here in 6 hours," she said. "Each of you has an area to study. Learn what you can about the humans, the animals, and the plants. I want to know if any of them will be useful to us." The team split up. 2 went north toward a small town. 2 went east to study the forests. 1 went west to look at a river. Hannah chose to go south, toward some hills that rose in the distance. As she walked, Hannah recorded everything she saw: the green plants, the small animals, the rocks and soil. She tested the air and water. Earth was a rich planet with many resources. The Celestials would take it all. Hannah felt nothing about this. Celestials did not feel sad when they destroyed planets. They only cared about making their empire bigger. After walking for 2 hours, Hannah came to a forest. The trees were tall with green leaves that moved in the wind. Birds sang in the branches. For a moment, Hannah stopped to listen. Birds did not exist on celestial worlds. They had been removed long ago. The sound was new to her. Then she heard something else, a different sound. It was high and broken. Her sensors could not tell what made it. Hannah frowned. She did not like things she could not understand. She moved toward the sound. Through the trees, she saw a small human sitting on the ground. It was a boy. His face was wet with tears. In his arms, he held a small animal, a dog. The animal was not moving much, but it made small crying sounds. Hannah stayed hidden behind a tree. She watched the boy talk to the dog. He kept saying, "It's okay, buddy. You'll be okay. I promise." The boy had dark hair and was small. Hannah's scanner said he was about 8 years old. He wore a red shirt and blue pants that were torn and dirty. There was blood on his hands and on the dog. Hannah knew she should not talk to the humans. She should just watch and learn. But something made her step out from behind the tree. The boy looked up. His eyes were red from crying. He did not seem afraid to see a stranger. "Can you help us?" he asked. His voice was small and shaky. "My puppy is hurt bad." Hannah moved closer. The dog was small with brown and white fur. One of its legs bent at a wrong angle. It had cuts on its side. The dog looked at Hannah with pain in its eyes. "What happened?" Hannah asked. "We were up there." The boy pointed to a rocky cliff above them. "I got too close to the edge. When I fell, Buddy tried to catch me. He jumped after me." The boy started to cry again. "He saved me, but he got really hurt." Hannah was confused. Why would this small animal risk itself for the boy? Celestials did not do such things. They did not risk themselves for others. "I'm Minjin," the boy said. "What's your name?" Hannah almost gave her real name but stopped herself. "I am Hannah," she said, using a simple earth name that sounded like her own. "Please, Hannah," Minjin said. "Can you help Buddy? I don't know what to do. My grandma lives far from here, and I can't carry him all the way home." Hannah looked at the small dog. It would die soon without help. For some reason, this thought bothered her. Celestials did not care when small things died. So why did she feel strange now? She knew she should walk away. Her job was to study Earth, not help its creatures. But instead, she knelt down next to Minjin and looked more closely at the dog. Hannah looked at the small dog in Minjin's arms. Its breathing was quick and shallow. Without help, it would die soon. She should not care. Celestials did not care about small creatures. They did not feel sad when things died. But something was happening inside her, a feeling she had never felt before. It was uncomfortable and strange. "I fell," Minjin said again, his voice breaking. "Buddy tried to save me. He jumped after me, even though it was dangerous." Hannah looked at the cliff above them. It was high. The dog had jumped from there to try to help the boy. Such a thing made no sense to her. "Why would your dog do that?" she asked. "Why would it risk itself?" Minjin looked confused by her question. "Because he loves me. We take care of each other." Love. This was a word Hannah knew but did not understand. Celestials had removed love from their bodies many generations ago. They saw it as a weakness, a thing that got in the way of making smart choices. "How long have you had this dog?" Hannah asked. 2 years, Minjin said, petting Buddy's head gently. "My parents died in a car crash, and I went to live with my grandma. I was really sad all the time. Then Grandma found Buddy at the animal shelter. He was all alone too. We needed each other." Hannah looked at the boy's face. There was something in his eyes, something she had never seen before. When he looked at the dog, his face changed. It became soft and warm. A memory came to Hannah's mind. When she was very small, before her training began, she had found a tiny plant growing in a crack on the royal ship. It had no use. It would take resources. But young Hannah had hidden it and watered it every day. When her father found out, he had destroyed the plant and punished her. That was when her real training began. The training to remove all soft feelings. But now, looking at Minjin and Buddy, those old feelings were waking up. "I might be able to help," Hannah said. The words came out before she could stop them. Minjin's face filled with hope. "Really? You can help Buddy?" Hannah knew she was breaking the rules. She should not interfere with Earth creatures. She should not reveal herself. She should not care. "I have medical knowledge," she said carefully. "But my supplies are back at my camp. I would need to take you both there." "Yes, please," Minjin said right away. "Anything to help Buddy." Hannah hesitated. If she helped this boy and his dog, she would be going against everything she had been taught. Against her mission. Against her father. Against her whole life. But the thought of walking away felt wrong now. She could not explain why. "I need to warn you," she said. "My camp is very different. You might see things that seem strange to you. You must promise not to tell anyone what you see." Minjin nodded quickly. "I promise. I won't tell anyone. Please, just help Buddy." Hannah reached out and gently touched the dog's broken leg. Buddy whimpered in pain, but he did not try to bite her. Instead, he looked at her with wide, trusting eyes, like he knew she was trying to help. "This will hurt him a little," Hannah said as she carefully lifted the dog from Minjin's arms. "But I need to carry him to make sure he does not get more hurt." Minjin stood up, wiping his tears. "I'll follow you. Just please don't let him die." Hannah looked at the small boy. His clothes were torn. His knees were scraped and bleeding. But all he cared about was his dog. "I will try my best," she said. As they walked back toward her ship, Hannah knew she was making a choice that would change everything. Her mind raced with questions and doubts. What would her team say? What would her father do if he found out? Why was she risking so much for these Earth creatures? She looked down at the dog in her arms, then at the boy walking beside her. Something new was growing inside her, something the Celestials had tried to remove, something that felt both scary and right. Hannah did not know it yet, but this was the beginning of the end of her old life, and the start of something new. Hannah walked fast through the forest. She held Buddy carefully in her arms, while Minjin hurried beside her. The small dog's breathing was getting weaker. They needed to reach the ship soon. "Is it much farther?" Minjin asked. His voice showed he was tired, but he kept walking. "Not far now," Hannah said. She looked at her wrist, where a small device showed the time. Her team would not return to the ship for 3 more hours. She had time to help the dog and then get Minjin away before they came back. When they reached the edge of the forest, Hannah stopped. "What you are about to see is very different," she told Minjin. "Do not be afraid. I promise I will not hurt you or Buddy." Minjin nodded, but his eyes showed worry. They walked into the clearing where the ship sat. It did not look like Earth ships in movies. It was smooth and silver, like a giant drop of water. It had no windows or doors that could be seen. Minjin's mouth opened wide. "What is that?" "It is my ship," Hannah said. She did not know how much to tell him. "I come from very far away." "Are you? Not from Earth?" Minjin asked. His voice was quiet now. Hana looked at him. No, I am not. Does that scare you? Minjin looked at Buddy, then back at Hana. You're trying to help Buddy. That's what matters. Hana felt something warm inside her chest. This boy was smarter than she had expected. Celestials always said humans were simple, but Minjin was showing wisdom. She walked to the side of the ship and waved her hand. A door appeared and opened. Follow me, she said. Inside, the ship was cool and bright. The walls glowed with soft blue light. Everything was clean and smooth. There were no sharp edges anywhere. Wow, Minjin whispered. It's like a movie. Hana carried Buddy to a small room near the back of the ship. This was her private space where she slept and worked. She placed the dog on a flat surface in the middle of the room. Stand back, she told Minjin. I need to check how bad his injuries are. Hana waved her hand over a panel on the wall. A soft hum filled the room, and a beam of light moved over Buddy's body. On the wall, pictures appeared showing the inside of the dog. Bones, muscles, and blood vessels could be seen clearly. His leg is broken in 2 places, Hana said, and he has 3 broken ribs. There is some bleeding inside him too. Minjin's eyes filled with tears again. Can you fix him? Yes, Hana said, but I need to put him in a special sleep first. He will not feel any pain. She touched another panel, and a small mist spread over Buddy. The dog's eyes closed, and his breathing became deeper and more even. Now I can help him, Hana said. She took a small silver tool from a drawer. It looked like a pen but with a light at one end. This will fix his bones. As she worked on Buddy, Minjin asked questions. He wanted to know where Hana came from, why she was on Earth, and how her tools worked. Hana answered carefully, not telling him too much, but not lying either. My people are called Celestials, she explained as she healed Buddy's leg. We travel between stars. We have been doing this for thousands of years. Are there other aliens visiting Earth? Minjin asked. No, Hana said. Just us. We are studying your planet. For what? Hana paused. She could not tell him the truth, that her people planned to destroy his world. To learn, she said simply. While they talked, Hana finished treating Buddy. The broken bones were now healed, though they would be weak for a few days. The bleeding inside had stopped. The cuts were closed. He needs to rest now, Hana said. The healing sleep will last for 2 more hours. Then he will wake up. Minjin smiled for the first time since Hana had met him. Thank you, he said. Thank you for saving him. Just then, a loud beeping sound filled the room. Hana looked at a screen on the wall. Her eyes widened with worry. Someone from my team is coming back early, she said. You must hide. Both of you. She quickly moved Buddy to a small space under her sleeping area. She showed Minjin where to hide beside him. Do not make any sound, she warned. If they find you, it will be very bad. Why? Minjin asked. Hana looked at him with serious eyes. Because I was not supposed to bring you here. I was not supposed to help you. If they find out, they will be very angry. As footsteps approached her room, Hana knew she had just changed everything. She had broken the most important rule. She had betrayed her duty, and she did not know what would happen next. Hana quickly closed the hiding place where Minjin and Buddy were. She straightened her clothes and tried to look normal. The door to her room slid open. Commander Chunho stood there. He was second in command of the mission. Tall and cold, he had always watched Hana closely. He did not think someone so young should lead such an important mission. Princess, he said with a small bow. I returned early. I found something you should see. Hana kept her face calm. What did you find? A human building with many machines. They are more advanced than we thought. I recorded everything. Chunho looked around the room. What have you been doing? The healing tools are out. I hurt my hand. Hana lied. She showed him a small cut she had made on her palm when fixing Buddy. It is nothing serious. Chunho looked at her with narrow eyes. You used the deep healing light for a small cut. Before Hana could answer, a small sound came from under her sleeping area. It was very quiet. A human would not have heard it, but Celestials had very good hearing. What was that? Chunho asked. The ship makes strange sounds sometimes, Hana said quickly. It is old. This ship is the newest in our fleet, Chunho said. He walked toward the hiding place. That sound was not mechanical. Hana moved to block his way. Commander, you are being rude. This is my private room. You should leave now. Chunho stared at her. You are acting strangely, Princess. First you use important medical supplies for a small cut. Now you want me to leave when I hear a strange sound. What are you hiding? Nothing. I just want my privacy. Chunho pushed past her. He moved to the hiding place and pulled open the door before Hana could stop him. Minjin looked up, his eyes wide with fear. Buddy was still sleeping next to him. Chunho turned to Hana, his face hard with anger. You brought humans onto our ship. This is against every rule. This is treason. They needed help, Hana said. The dog was dying. I could not let it happen. A dog. Chunho's voice was cold with shock. You risk our mission for a human child and an animal. Have you lost your mind? Minjin crawled out of the hiding place. Please don't be mad at her. She was just helping us. Buddy was hurt bad. She fixed him. Chunho ignored the boy. He tapped a device on his wrist. Emperor Taehyun must know about this now. No. Hana tried to stop him, but it was too late. The air in the center of the room changed. Light formed into the shape of a man. It was Hana's father, the Emperor. Though he was not really there, his image looked real. His face showed no emotion, but his eyes were cold. Commander Chunho, the Emperor said, why have you called me? My Emperor, Chunho bowed deeply. I must report a serious problem. Princess Hana has brought humans onto the ship. She has used our healing technology on a human animal. The Emperor's eyes moved to Hana, then to Minjin and Buddy. Explain yourself, daughter. Hana stood tall. For the first time in her life, she did not feel afraid of her father. The boy's dog was badly hurt. I helped them. They will not tell anyone about us. You have broken our most important rule, the Emperor said. You have shown our technology to humans. You have risked our mission. They are not what we thought, Hana said. There is more to humans than our studies show. This boy's dog jumped off a cliff to try to save him. They care for each other in ways we no longer understand. The Emperor's face grew darker. You were bred for greatness. You were made to lead our fleet. Yet you throw it all away for these creatures. You are confined to your room. The human and the animal will be taken for study. No. Hana moved to stand in front of Minjin and Buddy. I won't let you hurt them. Chunho looked shocked. Princess, you cannot go against the Emperor's orders. The Emperor's eyes were like ice now. My own daughter turned against her people. This is worse than I imagined. Commander Chunho, you are now in charge of the mission. Lock Princess Hana in her room. Take the humans for examination. I will send guards to bring all of you back to the eternal dawn immediately. As the Emperor's image disappeared, Hana knew she had to make a choice. She could obey and lose everything she had just found. Or she could fight for Minjin and Buddy and lose everything she had always known. Hana knew she had only moments to act. Commander Chunho was reaching for his weapon. Soon more Celestials would come. Minjin, she said quietly, get Buddy and stay close to me. Chunho stepped forward. Princess, do not make this worse. Step aside. I cannot, Hana said. I will not let you hurt them. Chunho touched the control panel on the wall. This room will lock in 10 seconds. Guards are on their way. Hana had to make a choice now. She could still go back to her old life if she obeyed. She could still be the princess, the fleet commander, the future leader of her people. All she had to do was give up the boy and his dog. She looked at Minjin, who was holding Buddy close to his chest. The dog was awake now, but still weak. Minjin's eyes were wide with fear, but he trusted her. In that moment, Hannah knew what she had to do. She reached deep inside herself to the power she had been born with. The power to feel and control energy. Celestials used this power for war, for taking over planets. But Hannah had always been stronger than others. She had hidden how strong she really was. Energy flowed through her body. The air around her began to glow with small dots of light. Shunho stepped back, his eyes wide. "What are you doing?" Hannah did not answer. Instead, she pushed the energy out from her body in a wave. The control panel sparked and went dark. The lights in the room flickered. "Come," she said to Minjin. "We must run." She took his hand and pulled him toward the door. Shunho tried to block their way, but Hannah sent another wave of energy at him. He flew back against the wall and fell to the floor. "Did you hurt him?" Minjin asked as they ran past. "No," Hannah said. "He is just sleeping for a little while." They hurried through the ship's hallways. Hannah knew they needed to get to the landing bay where the smaller ships were kept. They could use one to escape. "Where are we going?" Minjin asked, running to keep up. "Away from here," Hannah said. "It is not safe for you now." They turned a corner and saw 2 celestial guards. Before the guards could react, Hannah sent waves of energy at them. Like Junho, they fell to the floor. "You are really strong," Minjin said, eyes wide. "Yes," Hannah said, "but using my power like this makes me weak after a while. We need to hurry." They reached the landing bay. Several small ships sat ready to fly. Hannah led Minjin to the smallest one, a research vessel. "Get inside with Buddy," she told him. As Minjin climbed in, Hannah went to a control panel on the wall. She needed to do one more thing before they left. She pressed her hand against the screen and closed her eyes. Information flowed into her mind, the celestial plan, the dates, the places, everything about what would happen to Earth. She needed this information if she was going to stop it. 7 days, she whispered. They will begin in 7 days. Alarms started to ring through the ship. Red lights flashed. Voices called out. Hannah ran to the small ship and jumped inside. She pressed her hands to the controls, and the ship came to life. "Hold on," she told Minjin and Buddy. "This will be fast." The ship rose from the floor. The large doors of the landing bay were closed, but Hannah sent her power into the ship's weapons. A beam of light shot out and made a hole in the doors. She flew the ship through the hole and into the sky. Behind them, the celestial ship grew smaller, but Hannah knew they were not safe. Other ships would follow. "Where are we going?" Minjin asked again. "To your home," Hannah said. "But we cannot stay long. We need to warn people about what is coming." "What is coming?" Minjin's voice was small and scared. Hannah looked at him with sad eyes. "My people. They plan to take everything from Earth, unless we stop them." The small ship flew fast through the clouds. Hannah felt tired from using so much power, but for the first time in her life, she also felt free. She had made her choice. She had left behind everything she knew. For a boy and his dog. And somehow, it felt right. The small ship flew low over the trees. Hannah could see other celestial ships in the distance, searching for them. Her hands shook on the controls. Using so much power had made her weak. "Are you okay?" Minjin asked. He sat next to her with Buddy in his lap. The dog looked better now, but still stayed close to the boy. "I will be fine," Hannah said. "I need to find a safe place to land near your home. My grandma's house is over there." Minjin pointed to a small group of houses by a river, the one with the red roof. Hannah looked for a hidden spot to land. She found a field behind some trees, not far from the houses. As she brought the ship down, it shook and made strange noises. "Something is wrong," she said. "The ship is breaking." With a hard bump, they landed in the field. Smoke came from the back of the ship. The journey had damaged it badly. "We need to get out," Hannah said. "This ship cannot fly again." They climbed out into the field. The sun was starting to set, making the sky orange and red. Hannah felt strange. Her body hurt all over. When she looked at her hands, she saw that her skin was changing. The perfect celestial skin was becoming more like human skin. "You look different," Minjin said. "Your eyes changed color." Hannah touched her face. She could feel the changes happening. "The special things in my body are breaking down. I used too much power too fast." "Is that bad?" Minjin asked. "I do not know," Hannah said. "This has never happened before." They walked through the trees toward Minjin's grandmother's house. Buddy was able to walk now, but slowly. Hannah felt weaker with each step. Something was happening to her, and she did not understand it. "Grandma will help us," Minjin said. "She helps everyone." As they came out of the trees, an old woman ran toward them from the red-roofed house. She had gray hair and a round, kind face full of worry. "Minjin," she called, "where have you been? I have been looking everywhere for you." "Grandma." Minjin ran to her and hugged her tight. "I got lost with Buddy, but Hannah helped us." The old woman, Sunny, looked at Hannah with careful eyes. "Who are you?" she asked. Before Hannah could answer, she fell to her knees. The world spun around her. Her body felt like it was on fire. "She's sick, Grandma," Minjin said. "We need to help her like she helped Buddy." Sunny looked at Buddy, who was walking without pain. "What happened to his leg?" "It was broken this morning when you left." "Hannah fixed him," Minjin said. "She has special powers. She's not from Earth." Sunhee's eyes grew wide with fear. "Not from Earth? What do you mean?" Hannah tried to stand but could not. "Please," she said. "I will not hurt anyone. I need help." Sunhee looked at Hannah for a long time. Then she looked at Buddy, walking again when he should not be able to. She made a decision. "Bring her inside," she told Minjin. "Anyone who saves a child and a dog cannot be all bad." Together, they helped Hannah into the small house. Inside was simple but clean, with old furniture and handmade blankets. Sunhee helped Hannah to a bed in a small room. "Rest," she said. "Then you will tell me everything." Hannah closed her eyes. Her body continued to change. The perfect celestial parts of her were dying. She was becoming more human. She did not know if she would live or die through this change. As she drifted to sleep, she heard Minjin telling his grandmother about their adventure, about the ship, the healing, and the escape, about how Celestials were coming to take Earth. "We need to warn people," Minjin said. "Hannah says they're coming in 7 days. Who would believe us?" Sunhee asked. Who would believe a child, an old woman, and a stranger about aliens? Hannah knew the old woman was right. No one would believe them. They needed proof. They needed a way to reach many people at once. As she fell into a deep sleep, Hannah's mind worked on a plan. She still had the information from the celestial ship in her head. She knew their weaknesses. She knew when and where they would attack. If only she could find a way to tell the world. Hannah woke up the next morning feeling different. Her head hurt, but her mind was clear. Her body had changed during the night. She looked more human now. Her perfect celestial skin was gone. Her eyes had turned a dark brown. She looked like any other human woman. She got out of bed slowly. Her legs felt weak, but she could walk. When she went into the main room of the house, Minjin jumped up from the table where he was eating breakfast. "Hannah, you look so different." Sunhee turned from the stove where she was cooking. Her eyes widened. "You are right, Minjin. She looks human now." Hannah sat down at the table. "My celestial parts are gone. The special changes they made to my body have broken down." "Are you still strong?" Minjin asked. Hannah closed her eyes and tried to feel the energy inside her. It was still there, but much weaker. "A little," she said, "but not like before." Sunhee put a plate of food in front of Hannah. "Eat. You need your strength. As Hana ate, she told Sunhee everything. About the Celestials, about their plan to take Earth's resources, about how they would come in 6 days. We must warn people, Hana said. But you are right. Who would believe us? Minjin had been quiet, thinking. What about the internet? My teacher says the internet can send messages to the whole world. Hana looked at him. Yes, that might work, but we need to do more than just tell people. We need to show them how to fight back. Can we use your ship? Minjin asked. No, it is broken beyond repair. Sunhee poured more tea. My son, Minjin's father, worked with computers before he died. His old computer is still in his office. Maybe you can use that. They went to a small room at the back of the house. A desk held an old computer. Hana turned it on and looked at it. This is very simple, she said. But I think I can make it work. For the next few hours, Hana typed fast. She put all the information from her mind into the computer. How the celestial ships worked, their weapons, their weak points, when and where they would attack. She created pictures to show what the ships looked like. This is good, Minjin said, watching over her shoulder. But who will see it? I need to send it to many places at once, Hana said. To news people, to leaders, to people who can prepare. Sunhee shook her head. They will think it is a joke, or a movie advertisement. No one will believe aliens are coming. Hana knew she was right. We need more. We need proof. Minjin thought for a moment. What about your ship? It is still in the field. If people see it, they will know you are telling the truth. Yes, Hana said. But how do we get people to go there? We make a video, Minjin said. We show you using your powers. We show the ship. Then we put it online. Hana was not sure. My powers are weak now, and Celestials will be looking for the ship. We have to try, Minjin said. You saved Buddy. Now we have to save everyone. Hana nodded. You are right. Let us make this video. They took Sunhee's old phone to the field where the ship had crashed. The small ship was still there, half hidden by trees. Minjin recorded while Hana showed the ship and explained about the Celestials. She used her remaining power to make small lights dance around her hands. It was not much, but it looked strange enough to make people wonder. When they finished, they went back to the house and uploaded the video to many places on the internet. They sent emails to news stations and government offices. They shared the detailed information about the celestial weaknesses and plans. Now all they could do was wait. That night, as Hana looked at the stars through the window, she saw small lights moving. The celestial fleet was arriving early. Her eyes widened with fear. They are coming, she whispered. They are coming now. They are coming now, Hana said, her voice shaking. Minjin and Sunhee ran to the window. They could see the lights in the sky too. Small at first, but growing larger. I thought we had more time, Hana said. They must have changed their plans when I escaped. Did anyone believe our warning? Minjin asked. Sunhee checked her phone. Some news stations are talking about strange lights in the sky. The military is sending planes to look. Our video has many people watching it now. It is not enough, Hana said. They are not ready. She walked outside and looked up at the growing lights. Minjin and Buddy followed her. The dog stayed close to the boy, sensing danger. What can we do? Minjin asked. Hana closed her eyes. She could feel something deep inside her. The last of her celestial power. It was small now, but still there. A connection to the stars and the energy that flowed between them. There is one thing I might be able to do, she said. But it is dangerous. What is it? Minjin asked. I can try to make a quantum disruption. It can stop their ships from working. But I will need to use all my remaining power. I do not know what will happen to me. Minjin looked scared. Will you die? Hana touched his shoulder. I do not know. But if I do nothing, many people will die. Your world will be destroyed. Sunhee came outside too. The news says strange ships are appearing all over the world. People are scared. In the distance, they heard thunder, but the sky was clear. It was the sound of celestial weapons warming up. I have to try, Hannah said. I need to go to an open space, away from houses and people. The big field by the river, Minjin said. We can go there. They ran through the dark to the wide field. The celestial ships were clearer now. One large ship hung directly above them. Smaller ships circled around it. Hannah recognized the large ship. It was the Eternal Dawn, her father's ship. Emperor Taeyun had come himself. Stay back, she told Minjin and Sunny. Buddy too. What I am about to do may hurt you if you are too close. Minjin and Sunhee moved away, but not too far. Buddy whined softly, not wanting to leave. Go, Buddy, Hannah said, petting the dog one last time. Stay with Minjin. Keep him safe. The dog seemed to understand. He went to Minjin's side. Hannah stood alone in the middle of the field. She closed her eyes and reached deep inside herself. She found the last of her power, the connection to the stars that made her who she was. She had been bred to rule stars, created to lead fleets and conquer worlds. But now she would use that same power to save a world instead. She raised her hands to the sky. Energy began to flow through her body. It hurt, but she kept going. Lights danced around her, growing brighter. The air filled with strange colors. Above, the celestial ships began to shake. Their lights flickered. A voice boomed from the large ship. It was Emperor Taeyun. Daughter, stop this at once. You are destroying yourself. Hannah did not stop. She pushed harder, sending all her power out in waves. The ships shook more violently now. Some of the smaller ones began to fall. Why? Her father's voice called. Why would you do this for them? Hannah opened her eyes and looked at Minjin and Buddy watching from the edge of the field. The answer was clear to her now. Because they know what we forgot, she shouted. They know how to care, how to love, how to risk everything for each other. With one final push, Hannah sent all her remaining power into the sky. The air turned bright white. The celestial ships lost control. Their weapons went dark. Their engines stopped. Hannah fell to her knees, then to the ground. Her body felt empty and cold. Minjin ran to her side with Buddy and Sunny close behind. Hannah, Hannah, Minjin cried. She opened her eyes slowly. To her surprise, she was still alive. But something had changed. The last of her celestial parts were gone. She was fully human now. In the sky, the ships were pulling away. Without their weapons, and with their engines damaged, they could not start the attack. A message came from the Eternal Dawn. Earth is now marked as protected. We will not return. It was her father's voice, softer now. My daughter has shown me something I had forgotten. Perhaps there are things worth saving after all. Minjin helped Hannah sit up. You did it. You saved everyone. Hannah smiled weakly. Not just me. You and Buddy showed me what was worth saving. As the celestial ships disappeared into the distance, Hannah looked around at the world she had nearly lost. The trees, the grass, the stars in the sky, and most of all, the boy and his dog who had changed everything. She had been bred to rule stars, but she had found something better, a home.